Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
Arya opens with the visual art of foreshadowing. The gist of the entire series lies within its first shot. A woman's body is suspended in a reverse handstand on gymnastic rings. She is perfectly static. This image alludes to two things. The woman's world is going to be turned upside down, and she will soon be required to master a male dominated field. The woman is Arya, a unisex name that, depending on its roots, translates to noble or song. Incidentally, both her nobility and her love for song will feature heavily in her journey. I can also think of a third thing. Her mid-air handstand in black overalls makes her resemble a bat. Think of the Batman origin story. A tragedy spurs a dormant millionaire to become an iconic protector. Similarly, the murder of her husband spurs Arya to go from wealthy housewife to steel-minded protector of her three kids. Her mask and cape are figurative. She will play superhero. The only difference? Arya has inherited a life of villainy. She is forced to exploit her family business roots of drug trafficking to pay off her late husband's debts. Arya, created for India by Ram Madhwani and Sandeep Modi, is a remake of Penozza, an acclaimed Dutch series that charts the rise of a widow to the top of organized crime. The narrative arc of Arya is loyal to the original. Some shots from the Penozza trailer look familiar too, and reasonably so. Why change a successful formula? But cultural adaptation is the clincher. It's where other well cast Hotstar shows like Criminal Justice miss the bus. In that sense, Arya smartly locates its source material within the upper class Rajput confines of Rajasthan. Arya's family consists of an ailing old patriarch, a bitterly lavish mother, a hustling brother, a spoilt but sweet younger sister. This family is visibly one of old wealth and aristocratic privilege. Dysfunctionality is organic to their status. They wear the aura of lost royals who, in their pursuit of relevance and influence, run an international opium empire under the front of a pharmaceutical company. When Arya's husband Tej, who is played by Chandrachur Singh, and Arya argue about the 8-year-old son finding his gun, we learn that Tej had left his Chandigarh life to handle Arya's family business after her own father had suffered a stroke. He did it for love. He is a reluctant criminal, the CEO of Arya Pharmaceuticals, and partner to a greedy brother in law and an opportunistic best friend. Tej and Arya now want out. They make plans to disappear, but a 300 crore cocaine deal gone wrong results in him being gunned down at the end of an eerie first episode. A pen drive that Tej leaves behind forms the crux of Arya's navigation through a murky world of cops, hitmen, Russians, rival kingpins, and dead puppies. The sign of a good series is when it makes the viewer forget about the suspense and invest in the slow burning aftermath. Arya 2 becomes about its titular character reclaiming the fragile bridge connecting womanhood and motherhood. On one hand, there's the physicality of the plot. She tries to outwit a pensive cop and suppress the adrenaline rush of dealing with a dreaded Rajasthani drug lord. Of course, this drug lord is played by Manish Chaudhary. On the other hand, there's the intangibility of real life. There's grief, a rebellious teenage daughter, a son in adolescent love, a psychologically troubled 8-year-old who witnessed the shooting of his father, and a complete lack of trust in the concept of home. Either way, there's no winning in a story, only lesser degrees of losing. It's a tightrope balance, and Sushmita Sen, who returns to Hindi cinema after 10 years, is a revelation as Arya Sareen. In a career defining performance, Sen straddles the complicated subtext between the binary texts of female identity. Sen is the pivot of an excellent cast that, despite a brief lull in the middle overs, maintains the rhythm. The narrative fleetingly dips its toes into the hidden homes of each character. This gives each of the talented actors, who are otherwise underutilized by the Hindi cinema ecosystem, a chance to shine. I like the little touches. Vikas Kumar plays ACP Khan, the passive aggressive lead investigator, who represents both a religious minority and a sexual minority. The best friend is played by a superb Namit Das. He's a coke-addled wildcard whose wife, who's played by Maya Sarao, is conflicted about his spiraling ways. The spiritual foreigner is played by Alex O'Neill and gets increasingly tense about the family he's married into. Flora Saini plays the young second wife of the patriarch, and she's never painted as an airheaded gold digger. Sikandar Kher plays the man Friday, and he lurks like a faithful shadow, shape-shifting between observer and disruptor. Coming back to the opening shot, I can now think of a fourth clue: Arya's choice of exercise. She uses the steady rings. Over 9 carefully paced episodes, we then see the tale of a woman who resists the replacement of a wedding ring by a drug ring. And most of all, I like the ring to the famous Batman line: "The night is darkest before the dawn." Given the absorbing first season of Arya, one might add, the dawn is coming.